Right, while we are getting live, let's admit everybody into the group and say hello to Facebook and everywhere else. All the channels are trying to get online, I think. I will keep an eye on it while we bring everyone in. It's saying it's streaming. No, it normally says online, but it says streaming tonight. It's a bit different, Robert. So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we will keep an eye.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
I'm just going to grab. You have to unmute yourselves if you want to say hello in person. Just while I grab a link for somebody who can't seem to find the link.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm still working.
Hey. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Everyone have a good week.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Let's go and check. Make sure we are live in our group.
I think we better contain ourselves because that was just overpowering.
I have weeks like that. It's been one of those weeks for me in a way, and sometimes you don't always feel as organised as you should do. But do you want to tell everyone what we'll be talking about tonight? And I will just find the button I need to do.
Hey guys, can I say something?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I told Stephen I was really sick with COVID the last 2 weeks, and I launched the site and I didn't have time to do anything with it. This is pretty funny, and it's an electrical.
We like funny.
Well, it's not funny. It's good, but it surprised the hell out of me. So 3 weeks later, because I couldn't build citations or anything to it, there's about 10 pages that are on. There's about 10 pages that are on page 1, some of them number 1, and I didn't do a damn thing to it.
Can you clarify what kind of site you built?
Yeah, electrical.
Without giving it away?
Was it one of the DFY sites?
Yes.
You see,
that's good news for us.
That's the power of the content that's been going into them and all the systems. So we've had a few people say that to us, where it's just a case of getting a domain name up and building them. That's the thing with this.
Kind of blew my mind that actually happened. I mean, it's not that I didn't believe you guys, but and they're small suburbs. They're 5,000 people, maybe a little more or less in it, but still, you know what I'm saying, for not doing anything.
I know
for the out of the box build. Now, what I would say is for all of you that don't know this, when you build the original DFY sites, it goes in and gets locked in. And eventually, when you get to all the magic page settings, if they're not enabled, you can enable the spin text to go into effect at a percentage. I think it's default if it's turned on to be 10%. And then you set the schedule so that every so many days, weeks, months, whatever, you'll have a percentage of the entire site spin the content. And what that does for you without you touching the site is it regenerates the content. Google sees it as a red flag in that the content, there's stuff going on, meaning that the website owner is working on their sites and they're making updates, they're doing things. So it becomes a live site in Google's eyes, and it helps you in that way. Now, if some of the things that you can do when you first install your site is go in and delete the cache a couple times, or if you just ever want to do it just to change the site, you go into the magic page settings, delete the cache. Every time you do that, it resets the site with all the spin text. So again, it's new content, fresh compared to what it was. But those features are really huge on the back end. And at this point, Ed, what I'm going to say to you is that 3 weeks in, it's done its dancing around. They like certain things about it, and that's why you're ranking for it. So now's the time to put 1 or 2 blog posts on it and finish off the alt tags. look at where it's ranking and make those stronger. Look at where it's ranking like page 2 and think about pushing those a little bit. You know, because those are the things that are going to come up. So if it hates, and it's Google's funny. There's sometimes certain pages, certain cities, Google just hates them, and we don't know why. And in other cities, it thrives, you know. But there's a lot of little things that you can do at this point to really push the ones that Google likes, and those are the ones that you're already in favor for. So you keep those going. But that's
In
it's.
this
I love it
particular,
when people like you, Ed, come in and say things like that.
Everybody, so back in the video. Hope everyone's having a great day.
Because when I say it, or Steven says it, it's, you know, are these guys full of crap or what? You know, but when you guys come back and say, hey, I just put the site up, I didn't do anything. 3 weeks later, it's on page 1 for that. That's what this shit does. You know, and
Well,
that's what
that's
we're
a-
trying to do.
it's a testament to how well the sites are built and how, you know, with the way you guys are, you know, because we really don't have H1 tags and per se, but in all that, but the way that they're laid out with the titles and everything, with the
Wait,
local,
but-
the near me, the affordable, so Google likes something about it. You know, I don't know exactly what it is, but because like I said, it wasn't like some of these were on page 2, they're all on page 1. And this is the central location for this is well over 100,000.
Oh, that's
for
a
this.
very competitive area. So back
They're
up
not,
a second.
don't get me wrong, they're not ranking for that yet, but all the suburbs, yeah, they're
if you-
ranking.
If you can get them in the long tail and keep going,
Yeah.
you'll get them in the shorter and shorter tail of that long tail, if you know what I mean. Ed,
Yeah.
you said something that intrigued me there. What did you mean by H1 tags?
Well, when I would typically build a site, I used to build these like you guys did, I kind of did it different with Mike. And I would build a regular site and then I would add the magic page later. I would do service pages with all the H1, H2 tags, questions, the whole bit. Then I would let it sit, index. Then I would do the magic page. I would convert the home page to you know, how we do it.
Okay, but
Yeah.
did you say that these don't come out with H1 tags?
If I did, I misspoke.
Okay,
know,
because they come preloaded,
Yeah,
H1s, H2s,
Yeah.
H3s,
yeah,
and in many cases, H4s and H5s, not all
Yeah.
cases.
yeah,
And the magic page is already set with the same.
yeah.
Now, when people go in and start messing with the extra SEO plugins, some of them MPP just don't like at all, the SEO plugins, and it'll crash the SEO portion. But
Yeah.
these are preloaded with the SEO, with all of that in place, and all of the meta titles, the meta description are spun for the keywords that are written into the back end of the magic page itself. So those 10 keywords that come in your site are automatically placed into all of your SEO. And if
Yeah,
you go in
yeah.
and physically change any of the 10 main keywords or services, the service spun phrase, it automatically will update that SEO and the meta title, meta descriptions, and the other data of the pages based on you putting that information in those X fields or in the service spin text phrase. Because there's 6 services that have a spin text phrase because they're being spun about the services of that niche. So if that makes sense to you, there's 10 keywords, 6 services. You guys can go in and change that stuff. And if you're talking about general plumbing services, because that's how these come, and you decide, Ed, you want to make it strictly, I don't know, faucets, bathtub faucets, you know, then that becomes your site and your keywords can be changed to that.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't want to take up too much of the time here, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. And I misspoke. I guess what I meant before about the H1s, I put those in manually I'm not used to, I'm still getting used to you guys having all this stuff done.
The best advice.
That's why I said
Yeah.
that with the H1s, H2s, H3s, and so on, and adding pertinent questions that might be in a GMB, you know?
You
That's
know,
why
No, I
kinda said
thought that was a
this is
great
all
question, but
done.
I just wanted
This
to
is
make
all
sure
done.
that everybody listening or watching this in a recording understands that there is SEO already in place. But you guys, you know, that's what's great about this is you guys can take it and do. You can morph it into anything that you want, but work with what you have to get going and learn how it works, and then take it from there. And that's sometimes the people don't realize how much is involved in that back end, and that's why we don't get into a lot of those details, because it just confuses people and makes them either feel intimidated or, you know,
overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. There's the best word. So rather than do that, I'd rather get you building. Just build what we have, and then you'll learn all the nuances of things that you can do as you. I mean, let's face it, this is not going to happen in 30 days. You could build 30 sites in 30 days, but you're not going to understand all the stuff in the back end in 30 days. It takes time.
And the best way as well to expand your sites is use a page duplicator. Find a page you like out of a home page or one of the other pages, duplicate it, and then go and play with the duplicated page. If you mess it up, what you do, you delete that duplicated page and you make another one. Same as any of the physical pages you build in the back end of MPP from the training, and you end all the location pages. You can go in and add extra bits. You could say, okay, I'm going to have a search for the H1 tag on this page, and I'm actually then going to remove what's in there and put in my own H1 tag that I want. So, you know, it's always good to leave the main pages as they are, and I'd just recommend cloning a page. There's page duplicator plugin that will do exactly that, and it works every single time. You know, that's how I play around with other, especially customer sites. If you're doing a customer site, always back things up, and we'll be talking about backing things up and where to in a little while in the inner circle, because should I share a little bit about it in a minute? But
well, before you go there, just make one final point on the thing that you just said, Stephen. If you duplicate a page that's already on a DFY site, if you duplicate a service page or any of the home page, now they come preloaded with 3 different home pages. If you duplicate any pages that are already built, right, it'll pull in the X fields and the Spintex shortcodes that are on those pages into the built page that you're copying. So you don't have to go and do that work over again. You don't even have to understand it, but then you go back in and you can change the content in the content blocks to make it better for yourself. You know, if you are in plumbing and there's 6 services in plumbing and you want to have 10 services in plumbing, you take one of the service pages, you duplicate it, and then fix it so that it's the service that you want.
Yeah, the cool thing about our DFY themes is, and this is where this all came from, people kept saying, I've got Magic Page plugin, where do I start? Where do I start a Magic Page plugin? There's all the amazing training that Mike and Keith have done, but sometimes it's a bit fragmented or it's all over the place. How do I get a theme together? And that's where these came from. And you've got, you know, I've lost count of the amount. I think it's 9 or 10 themes in the members area. And you can just take one and very easily upload it. You follow the training. I mean, it takes, I can do an install now and I know what I'm doing in under 5 minutes, right? Probably nearer to 10, including fill in the magic form in your members area. That imports all your own company data. But you know, you could, if you take your time, take an hour out of your day, add a domain name to the hosting, and next minute you've got yourself a site built. And then it's just a case of focusing on the fun stuff. You know, I enjoy looking for citations and setting them up. I enjoy doing decent backlinks to my site. You know, I mean, that's where the talking to Andy that along came the idea for the DFY ranking boot camp. And interestingly enough, I will share this with people in the inner circle in a bit. One of my older clients that isn't really a client as much now phoned me up panicking because he messed all his citations up and ended up being on page 4 of Google. We ran his website through the DFY ranking system, and he's now in some searches he's at the top of page 2. Most searches he's at the bottom of page 1. Now he used to be number 1 at the top, and I said to him, just go back and change all your citations. But oh no, I want it this way. I want it. So we'll share with the inner circle people that website when we say goodbye to everyone else on Facebook in a bit, and I'll show you that. And it's exciting because all we did was put a post up, and it just went zoom, and then 3 days later he's back at the bottom of page 1 of Google, and he's really happy about it. You know, he says, how can I get up further? And I said, well, you won't really listen, so we'll have to do some things we can for you, but I don't know how much I can do for him unless he switches his Google My Business name back to what it was.
Well, Ed, thank you for your comments, and I hope everybody in the family is feeling better and you guys are back on the normalities and all that good stuff, because it's scary. It's scary stuff, you know. It's you just don't know when it's going to hit.
And the thing is life gets in the way. You know, everything we do for you guys, we always say, don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you're getting behind. No one's behind in this. You do it at your own pace, right? If it takes you a year to get from A to Z, it takes you a year. If it takes you a month, it takes you a month. Don't worry if someone's posting in the group, I'm making money from this. You know, we've got a few members who have turned around and said, you know, until I joined DFY, I was not making any money. Right now, I know there's some, you know, I've had other people message me in the group going, oh, well, so-and-so is making money. How do I make money? You know, just follow the system, but don't feel overwhelmed. Take your time, you know, and class, you know, any business, you have to take your time. But Ed, I'm glad you're getting better gradually, and we do really wish you well to yourself and your family.
Talk to you soon, Ed. Take care.
Yeah. So I wanted to share briefly before we say goodbye to people who aren't in the inner circle. And if you want to get in, it's dfymagicthings.com/live number for you about Google and Google Drive. Now, we had a big lesson learned this week. And whilst I keep backups of majority of stuff, Google, without warning, decided to shut our drive down. Just went, and this happened, was it last night? So I was out Thursday at my daughter's graduation, and so I got back first. Was it actually, it was Thursday night, wasn't it, Robert?
It was last night.
Yeah, and was it last night?
Yeah. Today's.
Oh yeah, well, I'm losing track already. See, so anyway, what happened? It went down, and we were sharing our files from our drive so everyone can do the downloads. And I went, oh my God, Robert, it's all gone down. So I stayed up till 3 a.m. That's why I'm all over the place today, getting pretty much all the files back up. There's a couple that I need to finish re-uploading, and I'll do that tomorrow. But the thing is, and I know Don's saying my drive was paid by Google. All right, that's the shocking thing about it. You know, it was paid monthly to them, and they said that terms and conditions, right? Even that from day one, I got told I could share whatever files with whoever I want, however I want. They swore blind I was breaking their terms and conditions. Yeah, it's a business drive that you can share files with whoever you want. I don't get it. So I think it was the fact that maybe I had maybe a terabyte and a half of data on it. Maybe they didn't like that. I don't know. So anyway, lesson learned. We've managed to sort the files out, pretty much all of them in the members area, and I stayed up late just to make sure everyone was going on there. No, Don, there was not any copyright material on there at all. It was I was always careful what I put on that drive, and I've also got some mini USB drives knocking around my office here that I use to back up data. So it was a case of re-uploading it and then going through each of the members area buttons to make sure you can re-download them. So when you go to the members area now, and the videos are wrong, and I'm probably not going to update them for a long time, it will say click on the download button. It takes you to the Google Drive. Now, when you click on the download button, it just downloads. There's not an extra step. So Google actually did me a favor at the end of the day. And on top of it, they've lost a lot of money because I was paying for 3 different services to them. I did message their support team, and they said all they would say is I broke their terms and conditions, which is a load of rubbish. You know.
Hey, Don, you can tell us how you really feel if you want to.
So Google and YouTube and Facebook can all kiss my blank. I think that's just awesome. Google is interesting on the point of view that now, and Facebook and Twitter are going down the same route more in the last few weeks. Of if you want an account with them, you have to be able to confirm the accounts. And in the inner circle, we'll talk more about that also. But I'm just going to switch over. Is there anything you want to say to people who aren't in the inner circle before we switch them all off tonight?
You know what? The people that are in here are getting all the good stuff. So you either want to be part of it or you don't. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you know.
That'll be by then.
But
sorry, buddy.
That'll be by then.
yeah.
So anyone who's the thing with the way the Zoom works is you lot will only get seen if we spotlight you now. So there's not, you can wave if you want, but it doesn't really matter. But those that want to get in on the inner circle, dfimagicthemes.com/